Hey guys, welcome to the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. John Rapp. Got a not a special show of any type tonight. I just want to talk about recharging. So, if you're interested in jumping on, send me a message and let's just talk about what you got to do mid-season to recharge for the rest of the year. Let's kick it off.
You're watching the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. Welcome to the Rusty Hook Podcast, presented by Feelfree Kayaks. Paddle, pedal, or power, there's something for everyone. ZPRO Lithium, serious power for serious anglers. DuBro Fishing, American marine application in soft plastics. Big Lake Bait Company, Texas's #1 custom bait maker. Raw and unfiltered. Streaming on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Bringing you gear reviews and candid interviews from the industry's best. Angler profiles, tournament news, and legendary knowledge from kayak fishing's best. Grab that cold drink and get settled in. Now here's John Rapp, our host.
All right, hey, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Nothing special, like I said earlier. Just going to sit back and talk a little bit about what we've done this year. This is our 29th show, and I apologize for not jumping on live last week. That's something that me and the guys have talked about the past couple days. I may flirt with the fact that I may record some shows on top of doing some live shows. Maybe do a live show every other week and try and see how that works out. I really what I like about the live shows is the interaction that I can get with you guys when you jump on and you do the chat. I mean, I know it's one of the things pre-recorded shows lack is interactivity. But I think I'm going to do a few and see how those work out. But today's topic is about recharging, and every time we go fishing, before we go fishing, we sit down and we make sure everything is charged up. Our batteries for our cell phone, batteries for our equipment, our batteries for our motors and lights, fish finders, and things like that. But I just recently went to the river past few days, and I want to give a shout out to Jody, Kelly, and Aaron for allowing me to come down and hang out with the Queen family. Always good to see Arnold and Tony. Got to meet the sisters and just had a really good time. And although I was only there for 3 days, it was a blessing. So yes, and that's what I'm talking about, Dean. And I appreciate you throwing that up. And because as Dean can tell you, my buddy from Georgia. I mean, when we get out there and we get on the trail, and we're fishing tournaments, it can be a tiring thing, and not only that, but when you're traveling and doing shows, doing trade shows, doing retail shows, and then you're going to companies and working with the companies. It's sometimes you need to push that reset button and go somewhere and relax. And Walt Doyle, another boy from Georgia, I got my boy. Sounds like George is on the is my audience tonight, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me. But I went down and it sort of reinvigorated me to go down to Blacksburg, Virginia, down to the New River. One, I took my camper over to Joe Sterrett's at Mountaineer RV and Outdoor Center today, and I'm like, I decided I'm gonna put a little bit of money in that little girl and upgrade my batteries. I'm gonna upgrade my wheels and tires, bearings and stuff like that, man. And Tim Williams, thank you, buddy. Good to see you. Appreciate you. But what? So I've got a little toy hauler, and let's see if I can pull it up and show you guys. Um, yeah, so it's a little Sky Cat. Here's a photo of us down on the river. It's just a little Sky Cat. Um, I bought it 3 years ago, just last week, 3 years ago, because Beth was showing me. I mean, there's a picture of it packed, and as you can see, that little girl. It's only a 14-foot trailer. Um, that's a 10-foot Moken. I got my generator in there. I got a couple of those plastic um, uh, book cases that you use in your garage, and I put my shelters in there and all the other thing. And Dean, it's a good little trailer. Only problem is, as you can see right there on the photo, the cargo space is only like a 6x6 area, maybe an 8x6. It's just big enough for a four-wheeler or a small side by side. And but I can put my 12.5-foot Moken in there if it's elevated, like this Moken is here. This is Beth's Moken 10 it's my river boat. That little Bixby, boy, it worked wonderful for me. But I got it sitting on top of my generator, but normally I've got a stand in there that I set my second boat on, and I put that Moken underneath, right under where the generator is. So, and you can see the wall back behind the Moken there. I'll stick my kayak all the way through, and the rear end of it will be touching right here at the door, just barely. But it is a great kayak, and as you can see here, I don't think you can see it. Let me see. Yeah, okay, but you can see my tires and my wheels, just a little old tires and stuff. I'm get upgrading those. I'm getting uh, better suspension, repacking, and getting a better bearings. And I'm replacing those tires with those off-road tires and new rims. Um, but I mean, you can tell right there how little that thing is. You can almost see the back end, and that's my gorgeous wife right there, Beth. She came down and hung out with us. Um, but I know I got off topic a little bit, but I really enjoyed this little trader and getting away, going down to the lake or river, and just relaxing. And so I thought I'm gonna spend some money on it and get it ready. And I may take it up to the Susquehanna in October for the event up there. Might even go down to the river, the new river again here in September, down to Shanklin's Ferry. That's a location that's near the Virginia line, but just depends. I hear from some of you guys, some of my friends out there that are hitting the river. I'm going to jerk that thing out. Be a couple weeks before she's ready, but that's the plan. But the whole point of that rant about that trailer was those 3 days that I spent down there with those guys, and I just had a blast. Was really something that I needed. And yeah, Danny Gann, I do need to come down. But if I come down there, I'm not pulling that trailer. I'm gonna crash on your couch, brother. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, Beth and I were talking about that. Actually, we talked about a retired friend of mine has a camp that he keeps down in Tennessee, just on the Virginia-Tennessee line. And we thought about, maybe we could take that thing and just roll it somewhere and have a permanent spot. But it's small, it's little. My little truck will pull it, and it gets me away, and that's the thing. And as everybody's talked about here, and and commented on, you got to take care of yourself, and you got to do some things to get away from. And that's one of the things I liked about where Jody's camp is that there's no cell signal. You actually, the only time I would get any cell signal was when you go out there on the river. There's an island out there, and right around the corner of the island I would get all my notifications. So for almost 3 full days, other than on a few occasions, there wasn't a lot of outside noise that I was getting. I wasn't getting blown up. I wasn't getting emails. I wasn't getting texts. Um, but it was just good to break away and relax. And those boys, those Queen boys, they can play some music. It was nice to sit back around the campfire and listen to those guys. You could tell. I had a little envy of Jody and his brothers, because you could tell them boys grew up. They were tight. They loved each other. They picked up the music and they were just playing like they were doing it yesterday. I think one of the brothers said that he hadn't been down in the camp in 3 years and really enjoyed it. It was his first vacation in 3 years, and so take care of yourself, break away, and do some things to decompress. It's a lot of a lot of you guys out there are not like me right now. I'm an old man, not old man, but I just recently fully retired, and so I get to decompress every day. But a lot of you guys are still grinding out there, pulling those 8, 10, 12-hour days, and maybe a tournament is your way to get away and decompress. You're still fishing. You're using but you're maybe a little bit more on the competitive side and things like that. But just want you to think about that for a moment. Um, you know, what do you do? You guys that are chilling with me here, how do you guys decompress and what do you do? Um, yeah, and it was Dean. Uh, Matter of fact, I was going to leave last Wednesday. I didn't do a show last Tuesday night, and I apologize for that. Like I said, um, but I was getting my gear together because I expected to go down and be down there 3 or 4 days, and all of us here in the southeast, we've experienced a little bit of drought, but I got down there and it was rain. It rained just about every day. The one day that I was fishing, it rained every day. Um, I'm gonna pull up a couple videos. You're not gonna hear any sound. I don't think they're on Facebook if you want to go hear the sound and stuff. But before that, I'm just gonna slide through some photos here and show you what we did down at the camp. Um, it was enjoyable. But you can see the river there, really beautiful. Um, there's a fire, and who can't spend time out on the side of the river, listen to that water flowing, a nice fire, and then on top of that, you're out there with good friends, you're joking, laughing, just sitting around, relaxing, eating dinner, and then music. You get to get some good music, and these guys, uh, they're special. I'm really surprised they don't have a couple albums. Um, and then you can see in the photo in the background, one of the sisters jump in and sang. Um, so I just thought it was an amazing family, and got a little jealous. I got to admit. there's that morning. You can see it was cloudy, overcast. The sun was trying to break through. Um, Breakfast. And let me tell you, old Jody Queen can make some mean eggs and bacon now. I'm telling you. I appreciate that man. He's a good friend and love him to death. Went out there and we did a little fishing together, and he caught a lot of nice fish. There's a reason why he is the greatest of all time, and no doubt about it. Jody Queen is one of the greatest uh, kayak anglers that's ever walked the face of the planet. So, um, but yes, agreed, Dean. No doubt about it. But we got out there and we were hammering them. Beautiful, beautiful time. Soaking wet. Look at my hat. My shirt's sticking to me. But I think it's Kelly, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Kelly and Jody. And then a couple more fish that we caught out there in the evening. There's my girl come down and hung out. So, I mean, she didn't get to spend as much time down with me, but she got to come down long enough to feel the effects of on the river, getting bit up by spiders and mosquitoes and other insects while we were out enjoying dinner there. She was reading her book and stuff like that. So that's what it's all about, you know. Um, so you guys that are watching, tell me, what are some of the ways you guys recharge your batteries? I'd love to hear it. Um, See, we got a couple of you watching from the West Virginia kayak angler side, Rusty Hook, True Patriot Outdoors out in Colorado and down in North Carolina on the Newton uh, Facebook page. Um, but like you saw some of the fish. Well, I caught a hell of a animal out on the water, and let's see if we can pull that up. Let y'all see it. You won't hear the sound, but you will get to enjoy the video. So it, my so what I caught right here, I was fishing, came off the rapids, and I'm working the side of the bank. I figured I'm gonna work that brush and stuff like that, and I'm dragging a Ned rig, and I thought I was hung up, but I noticed it felt moving, so I thought, well, maybe I've got a stick. Stick's moving, and then as you can see, no, it wasn't a stick. I must have threw that Ned rig right on that turtle's face, and and this is a testament to those fishing rods that from Trica Fishing. Um, I I caught that. Was able to pull that turtle up, keep that turtle up at the top of the water, as you can see there. He was every bit of probably the size of a. Well, his head was as big as two fists. You know, so he was two fists, and he was probably that big around. So he could have covered the whole whole part of my front of my boat. So finally got my line broke, and then I went on down. Jody and them were on downriver. So, but had a great time on there. You also caught the. I think this was my first chatterfish, chatterbite. Oh no, this was maybe in a Ned rig. Oh wait. Yeah, this is my chatterbait fish. Jumped in the boat, so I was trying to put her in the net. Video games can do it, Danny. Yeah, I can I can see that happening, Rick. I was trying to do exactly that with that Triker fishing rod. Triker, man, those carbon fiber rods they're something nice. I really like them. Think I'm gonna have to order me a couple more of those 3X spinning rods. But as you can see, I caught about a 15-inch smallmouth there, and me and Jody were working the side of the river. You want to hear the sound of this and hear us giggling, you need to go to my Facebook page and listen to it. But we absolutely had a good time, and isn't that what it's all about? I mean, anyway, I'm going to take a quick break here, guys, recharge my thoughts here, and we'll do a few more minutes here on the show. But I, not a long show tonight. But I do want, I would like to hear. Danny has told us how he plays video games, which I got to admit, before I kicked this game on, I was on Steam playing a little Ruse, a war game that I play a lot. It brings me back to the days when my boys were still around and we played it on Xbox. And they would thump me, and I got tired of getting thumped, so I learned how to play the game well. But let's take a look at a few items here, and then we'll come back and we'll finish strong.
This is the Rusty Hook Podcast, supporting people and companies that support us. Feelfree Kayaks, paddle, pedal, or power, something for everyone. DuBro Fishing, manufacturer of fishing and marine products for freshwater and saltwater anglers. ZPRO Lithium, high-quality, specifically designed lithium batteries to power your outdoor recreations. Big Lake Bait Company, Texas's #1 custom soft plastics bait maker. You're tuned in to the Rusty Hook Podcast. More than a podcast, but a way of life. From the biggest lakes to the smallest creeks, we are all things kayak fishing. Refresh that drink, turn up the volume, and feel the excitement. It's time for the second half of the show. Live, raw, and unfiltered. Now, let's join the one and only Big Daddy.
Hey, you guys saw that little commercial that I put together there. That boy at the end that was doing that. Well, that's my son, William. That's a video from about, I guess he was around 20, 21. He was still stateside. Been stationed up in Alaska. He's an Air Force veteran for the last 6.5, 7 years. He's got a year and a half left. But keep him in your thoughts and prayers for me, because he's diligently doing good work right now for our country and our military. And just keep him in your thoughts and prayers. So yeah, this is the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. We're streaming live on 5 Facebook channels and 2 of our YouTube channels. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and chilling and talking about all good things kayak fishing related. So tonight's topic has been about sitting down and recharging yourself. Granted, it's August, and we're toward the end of the kayak fishing season, especially where I live at here in West Virginia. I mean, probably have 2 good months left. Toward the 1st of October, those fish start dropping off, and they don't bite like they normally do. They go into their winter patterns. So, or at least mid-October, and so that's when you'll start seeing us boys here from the Mountain State making our trips down south to the coast and out west toward Texas and things like that. Hitting those early trails when bass and Hobie start running their tournaments in January, February. But yeah, it's been a busy year, and I'd like to hear from you guys and tell me, all the things that you've done and what you had to do in between those events to recharge. I mean, there's some guys out there that just hammer it. I mean, well, our boy Brian Schiller from Paddle and Fin, the he does the Friday Night Bite Show, the OG show. He's the marketing manager at DuBro, and but it's more than just DuBro. It's Pine Ridge Archery too. So he goes from fishing season right into hunting season, and there's trade shows, and they also have the RC world. The planes and drones and cars and boats with the little remote controls. He goes to those shows. There is no off season for a dude like that. Can you imagine when he gets the opportunity to go out somewhere and just relax? Because I got to spend time with him down at Del Holla in April, and we ran the Paddle and Fin tournament down there. We've done it for the past 5 years. Doesn't look like we're going to go back if you're inquiring. But we got something in the works that we may do next year, and as soon as we get things more finalized, we'll probably put out some information on that. But yeah, I mean, he spent time down on the houseboat. We went out and fished every day. We shot content. We just relaxed, and that's what you got to do. I mean, what do you guys do? I know when I retired from the West Virginia State Police back in 2013, I picked up kayak fishing. I just started fishing heavily about 3 years before that out of a little Pelican two-seater, one of those pond crawlers, and would go on the back marshes around here. Had a little trolling motor for it, and then finally I started taking it out and doing some floats on the river. And that's not a good boat to float like the New River and places like that. It's better. It's a lake boat, really. I mean, you can do it. Beth and I did it, but it was difficult, and that's how when it started taking on so much water because it had holes around the seams. That's how we got into the kayak fishing, because we started doing research to replace it. But that fishing pole and getting out on the bank, hitting the water, is something that really, really screamed at me and said, "This is what you want to do. You need to do to just completely gather yourself, find yourself, relax, and let your personality shine again." You know what I mean? Sometimes when you go into a job, you take that job home with you, and you're tired, you're grumpy, and you need an outlet. And fishing was mine. It really helped me. But nowadays, getting down to the river and it's a blessing. So, but I'm not going to keep y'all up too much longer. I just wanted to chat about recharging your batteries and doing things that you can do to keep yourself mentally and physically alert, challenged. Don't or well, I don't know exactly. You all right? But anyway,
Mentally stimulated.
Yeah, mentally stimulated. That might be the word. Let's see, Buddy Vance. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, agreed. And I love seeing what you guys do, buddy. It's awesome. I liked the a couple weeks ago when y'all were traveling around eating all the delicious food at different locations. That was really cool, and it was good to see Scout was back out in the water. He so, can't believe it. He's getting old. I mean, I remember when he was just a puppy, and it seems like yesterday, but I know it's been probably 6 or 7 years. So, but yeah, and that's a good point because Beth and I we do that in a way. We need to do it more. Matter of fact, we're getting ready to do um, a getaway for us so she can recharge her batteries a little bit. Um, but appreciate everybody hanging out with me tonight and just being interactive with me. Um, you may see some changes down the road with the Rusty Hook. I'm going to probably change my format a little bit and do some recorded shows. And that way, when I'm free during the day and I have a guest that works evening shift or weekends, we can record something and just put it up. And then that way my evenings are free. But I still want to do live events. I still want to reach out to you guys, do panels like I've done here in the past few weeks, and talk about some of the aspects of our sport, what we think, the directions we would like to see it go. And oh yes, buddy, I tell you, I got a video of at almost 20-inch fish. I think it's up but you no, I didn't. My Insta360 was dead. I didn't get it recharged. I had it out in the truck to recharge overnight, but I guess the truck wasn't on, it didn't charge. But I did take video of it. Me doing the old smile and grab. Actually, I got pictures of it on my board. She was really close to 20. If I took more time, and I just took a quick picture of her on my lap. Of course, that's a no-no in the world of kayak fishing. You put a big fish look like that down in the boat when you're going to score it and take a photograph of it. But I just wanted to get a quick video of it, see what it was. I figure it was a 1975 after I would have got the tail pinched and the mouth closed and stuff like that. Nice fish, but it smashed that jackhammer. And so, yeah, I am going to make a few purchases and be ready to do that up at the Susquehanna. Appreciate that insight. And this man, Buddy Vance, is another really good friend of mine. We go to Lake Erie quite often every year. He put him and Brandy find us an Airbnb and we go, and that's one of our getaways to recharge. And you're not fishing a tournament, you're out just fun fishing. You can fish whenever you want to go out at 9 a.m. and fish till dark. You don't have to be out there getting set up at 5:30 and getting off the water at 2:30. So you get to work that evening bite a little bit. And but I appreciate Buddy Vance. He's a great friend, and we're pulling for you in Texas, buddy. I'm hoping you can go down there and do what you've done all year, stay in the top 10 on the standings, and see where everything falls into place for you. Would love to see you walk that bass stage as the angler of the year. So, anyway, yeah, I'm going to close off and get off here and let you guys go enjoy the rest of your evening. I appreciate you. I'm going to throw up a video here of Cross Kicks. You guys check that out. They're one of our newest paddle and fin sponsors. And if you're looking for good water shoes, I think it's a place that you might want to go look. So.
I was initially introduced to Cross Kicks by doing a Google search looking for the perfect shoe that would allow me to unload my kayak from the ramp without changing shoes, getting in the boat, fishing all day, and being able to come back, get in the truck, and go home.
The big thing for me that made me wear Cross Kicks over other shoes was the versatility. I can go to the boat ramp, and then when I'm done at the boat ramp, I can go meet my wife and kids for a nice dinner and wear the same shoes and have nice looking comfortable shoes on.
I ordered Cross Kicks because of the backing strap, the drainage. Visually, I thought this has got to work better. Tried the shoe within the first week, felt it was phenomenal. It works for me. It allows me to rinse my feet off in the water, get back in the vehicle, continue on my day, and never have to change shoes throughout the day.
It keeps me comfortable all day long. That is a huge factor on the water. Comfort, comfort, comfort. And especially my feet being comfortable, protected, and knowing that when I step off my kayak, I'm gonna have good solid foot traction. That's a great feeling to have.
By the time I put my kayak in the water and get out and load my equipment up, my shoes are already dry. And I wouldn't change that about Cross Kicks for anything.
Yeah, so go check it out. I think the code for that is Newton20 or Newt20. So I think Randy Newton has posted on his Facebook page there. Anyway, but appreciate you guys. We'll be back next. Well, I'll be home. Yeah, should be live and raw, unfiltered again next Tuesday night. Give me a shout out if there's a topic you want to talk about, or if you'd like to be on the show and talk about something. Anyway, best of luck to you guys. Stay safe. Always wear your PFD.